for economic development, is the things that the future holds for this county in which we live. Tonight, particularly, we want to lift up a grieving family, a loss of one of our own that spent many years serving the people, protecting the people in this county. I knew him by Hollywood, but Emmanuel Crowder, dear Father, we want to lift him up at his untimely passing. Dear Father, again, we want to ask for wisdom and guidance in this decision-making progress. And everything that we do decide here is for the betterment of this county in which we live. And these things we pray in the precious name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call coming from our clerk to the council. Ms. Bond.
Charles Jennings.
Present.
Nard Hamby.
Present.
Henry Banks.
Present.
Charles Cook.
Present.
Jackie Brown.
Present.
G.P. Callison.
Present.
Columbus Stevens.
Present.
Thank you. We have approval of the minutes. These minutes are March 19, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? Move it off our minutes. Not all in favor. Everybody right? Thank you. This time we have a presentation coming from Ms. Laura Fowler.
Good evening, and thank you for having us here today. Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for all of our many discussions over the years about our projects that are going on in the county regarding opioid use disorders. I'm from Cornerstone. I'm the executive director. I've been there 34 years. We're located at 504 North Main Street. We provide prevention, intervention, and treatment services for folks who have substance use disorders. We all know that. I'm sure if I asked people to raise their hands, we would have someone or know someone that has struggled with alcohol or drug addiction. And we're there for those folks to help them get the help that they need, help make a referral to an inpatient facility, and also to provide the outpatient services that could be offered. I hope I don't get choked up here. We submitted a proposal to McCormick County through the opioid funds that were set aside for the individual counties, and proposed to organize efforts in McCormick County to expand the distribution of Narcan. Narcan is available for free through our agency. I have one at each of your place here. If you do not want it, if you will, when I leave, I will pick it up from you if you do not want it, because I will say that I gave it to each one of y'all. You could keep it in your car, keep it in your office. You never know when you might be in a situation that you would need that. I'm so sorry. This medication is used to treat an overdose, and it is very easy to administer. All you would have to do is the box that you have has one of these. If you've ever used Flonase, you just put it in the nostril and you just give it one squirt. Wait 2 to 5 minutes, and if they have not come to, you have 2 doses that are in there, then you insert it in the other nostril and give a second dose of the Narcan. Of course, the first thing you do is you call 911, and while those guys are en route, and that's when you administered the Narcan. The project that Cornerstone proposed to do was actually, we started this when we first started seeing a lot of overdoses in Greenwood, and thank you so much. We had 2 goals. This project is good for 1 year, and our goals were to expand training to first responders, schools, community support groups, and families. I left down with Crystal an opportunity of training, which is South Carolina Governor's Opioid Summit. That's going to take place April the 30th and May the 1st. We wrote into this budget funds to send folks to this training if they would like to know more. This is an opportunity for local government, state government, law enforcement, health professionals, helping professions, family members to get together and discuss what are strategies that are being done across the state, what are things that our agency could duplicate across the state and implement within our counties. One of the things that we've done in Greenwood that we intend to do in McCormick starts from a group of people that Dana Brock has established a coalition here in partnership with other agencies. This round table that they have gotten together for the coalition has planned multiple activities. Last year, they actually planned 2 activities. One was a family lake day for people in recovery, as well as a family fun day that they've had at the recreational baseball field. We're trying to promote recovery, that it is something that is achievable, and it is something that people can do, and it isn't shameful to be in recovery. That's what we're trying to offer. We've partnered with the Savannah River ROC, ROC, which is a recovery-oriented community, and they provide activities for people in recovery. Just like people that like to run can get on the internet and can find where other people are having 5Ks and they can join in. This is an event, you don't find many events that you can go to if you're an alcoholic that there is not alcohol served somewhere. And if in that first 6 months or year, whatever it is for that person, they can't just sit at home. They still need some type of social interaction. So it's an opportunity that they could bring their family, and it would be an alcohol and a drug-free event that they could go hiking, whatever it may be, or whatever the activity is that's planned. That is part of what we said that we would do in McCormick County. And we would also distribute for free the Narcan. We would expand that training that I talked to law enforcement and for EMS, the ability to go to the governor's conference as well as any other. And Greenwood, I know that, and I'm speaking of Greenwood only just because I've been involved in their coalition because we started it about 10 years ago. And what we did was we determined an emergency response plan. Just like if you have a tornado, you hear the beeping on the TV, you know what you need to do. You know that you need to seek shelter. We have an emergency response plan for overdoses. If there are 3 overdoses in the last 24 hours, we send out a spike alert, and we have different entities that are participants in that group message that says, we've had 3 overdoses in the last 24 hours. So what does that do for law enforcement? So law enforcement, if we know that we had 3 overdoses in the last 24 hours, then we try to find out, where did this happen at? Was it in a particular location? Is it a bad batch of something that somebody's taken? It could be our kids' first time that they tried this, and it was a bad batch because it was laced with fentanyl and could be fatal for someone. We let the EMS know, we let the hospital know, so they can be on alert, as well as peer support. We have 2 peer support people who work in McCormick. We also have a clinical counselor, Michelle Gaskins. Both of our peer support folks are going to this training. We have 2 folks on our staff that will be presenting at this training for the Governor's Opioid Summit, as well as a clinical counselor. And there are 2 people from Sandy Branch Fire Department. Is that right? Sandy Branch or Sandy? Okay. Sandy Branch Fire Department that are already registered for their training. This is the paper that Crystal has if you're interested in attending. We do need to know by Friday so we can get your registration taken care of. Also, just some of the data that we presented in our application, Mr. Stevens, was according to the data on the OD map, and this is a statewide initiative where overdoses are tracked and they're put in like a red dot on a map, and you could see where they're concentrated at, where you might need to put your efforts forth. But McCormick County experienced 16 non-fatal drug overdoses and 12 naloxone administrations by EMS in 2022. With this data in mind, Cornerstone has chosen to focus our attention on making sure that we get this Narcan out to as many folks as we can get it out to, and hopefully we won't see an increase in those fatal overdoses. The overall drug overdose rate in 2020 was 31.8 per 100,000 people. The county's opioid-related overdose death in 2020 was also 31.8 per 1,000 people. And the county's rate for naloxone administration by EMS in 2020 was 1.7 per 1,000. We hope that by starting this program, educating the community more of the need to have Narcan, the way to administer Narcan, to educate the nurses, the school staff, provide the naloxone, provide the training and the support, as well as public education relating to the emergency responses to overdoses, and helping first responders get, I don't want to say the training they need. I know they are well trained, but sometimes their budgets may be limited. And if we could offer assistance as far as them receiving more education on opioid use disorders and how to treat those, then that's what we can do in partnership with our grant. And there were 2,296 total drug overdose deaths in South Carolina in 22, and this is an increase from 128 in 2021. And according to DHEC 2022 drug overdose deaths report, the number of overdose deaths have more than doubled from 1,103 deaths in 2018. McCormick County had no reported fatal drug overdoses in 2022, and no data is available for 23 at this time. EMS responded to 17 total non-fatal drug overdoses in 2022, and EMS responded to 18 total overdoses in 23. Narcan was used in 12 of the 17 reported overdoses in 22, and it was used at 13 of the 18 overdoses that were reported in 2023. Overall, and looking at the way that opioids are prescribed, we are seeing a reduction and a decrease in the number of prescriptions that are being written. But that's still, if we looked at the number of opioid prescriptions for the state has decreased from 4,083,000 opioid prescriptions dispensed in 2018 to 3,138,000 in 22. McCormick has decreased from 3,286 opioid prescriptions in 2018 to 2,936 in 2022. That still translates to nearly 175,000 doses of opioids, that's pills being dispensed to McCormick County residents in 2022, and that's nearly 18 pills for every single man, woman, and child in your county. With these funds, through the SCORF board, we're required to submit a quarterly report as to what actions are being taken with the funds. And again, like I said, you already have 2 people that have signed up from the fire department. You have staff that serve McCormick County that are going to get additional training on opioids. And I will be providing Mr. Stevens with a copy of that report that I send to the state office. Does anybody have any questions about the services or?
I just have a couple comments. I personally cannot thank you and the organization enough from the depths of my heart for what you're trying to do for McCormick County and what's taking place in the state. And I shared just briefly, my niece's husband, who's about 30, basically fell dead in Walmart's last week with a 3-year-old and 8-year-old. It was out like 5 minutes, and Narcan brought him back to life. It works.
Yes, sir.
And being a foster parent of teenage boys that come from very, very messed up homes, I keep one of these in every one of my cars. So it works. I thank y'all very much. Education's the key. And that's it. I just thank you very,
Yeah.
very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chair. Ms. Fallow, I also support strongly the efforts that you're making in McCormick County. And I think the use of Narcan obviously is like a miracle drug in terms of resuscitating victims who've OD'd on opioids. And I strongly support its continued use. I did attend a National Association of Counties Rural Caucus up in West Virginia last fall and got a very similar package to what you've given to council members. And it did contain Narcan, but it also contained another drug, and forgive me, I cannot remember the name of it.
Fentanyl test strip, maybe?
It is a preventive, so that it's available to people who are known to be using opioids, whether they're prescription or non-prescription or whatever. And so I didn't know if you were familiar with that and whether or not that might be a welcome part of the program that you're developing here in McCormick County.
Yes, sir. Those, it's fentanyl test strips, I believe you're referring to, which would detect the presence of fentanyl in a substance. If you're going to use a substance, and I'll use my child as an example, if my son was using pot, I would like to know if he's going to use it anyway, if it contained fentanyl, he could be dead. There's mixed emotions with this. And when you do any type of handout programs such as that, you sometimes get pushback from the community, and you have to look at the community readiness for distributing those fentanyl test strips. Because there's a lot of attitudinal changes that haven't taken place, and they see people with alcohol or drug addictions as weak, as something that somebody's making a choice for them to do. So I think that as we educate more, that we will be able to talk about the benefits of fentanyl test strips and what they could offer your community and how they would be used responsibly. And yes, sir, we would be more than happy to provide those to you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you. And then your organization, what you do. Because you're saving lives, educating us. You know, a lot of times we have a drug problem, we just kind of keep it to ourselves. We wouldn't try to destroy one another. When someone do have a problem, we could save so many more lives.
Yes, sir.
And the more you can make it public known and provide the training, this can help us to be more open.
Yes, sir.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you. The more we talk about this, the more we can be prepared for what might be coming next.
Next, right.
I remember having this same discussion about crack 20 years ago, and crack babies when they hit the school systems.
Yes.
This doesn't affect just the individual. You're preserving families in McCormick, businesses, residents. It affects your crime rate. It affects your medical situations in your town. It affects the housing situation. As we all know, it affects commerce. So anything we can do to help, or if you need to bring something to our attention, we're more than welcome to hear from you of where you feel like this community is ready, and if they're ready for fentanyl test strips, we'll be more than happy to get those.
Do y'all go into the school and do these presentations?
Any chance we get, yes, sir.
Again, thank you, please.
Yes, sir, thank you, and please remember the registration deadline is Friday.
Right, yeah.
And I will walk by. If you don't care to have these, I will
No,
take them back up.
We need them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take that, I've
Thank
got
you.
one. Got one at the house. I've got it when I got some medication. I didn't know what it was.
Check your eggs and break
Until I
today.
got the bill and I'm like, my God.
This is free.
I know, that's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, same here. We'll go into public comments in one.
Chris Doolittle. Yes, you go ahead.
You should have the time on the screen.
Yes,
3
sir.
minutes. You got up to 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. So I'm not gonna take a whole lot of time. I know you guys are busy, but to segue into from what she just said, it's all about saving lives. Everything we do and everything you guys sit up on that bench to do is to prepare this community, prepare this county to save lives. So I ask you several things, and I'm not here to get into any of the internal workings of the EMS division. You guys know I retired from that a while ago. But how'd you break it in a year? How'd you let it get broken in a year? One of the things I can tell you that you did is your hiring committee that would look for the new director made it very clear that nobody that worked under me was gonna get interviewed. There was 3 other people that applied for the position that was qualified for the position that was never granted an interview. But yet, they wanted somebody from outside. Your failure to use your power of public safety committee. I sit in these meetings all the time, or have in the past, I ain't been here in a year, and listen to every time you guys gave a committee report, you would take public safety and you would say, oh, no report. If it wasn't that, it was about the fire department and what plan would get put in place. When is the last time County Council's Public Safety Committee met with the Director of Emergency Services? When is the last time your committee met with the sheriff? Public safety is a huge, huge part of what makes McCormick County what it is. Gonna step on and move on now. You were advised 3 years ago or more that there was a paramedic shortage coming and rural counties were gonna be hit hard. You currently have 18 approved positions in your EMS budget. You have 11 people trying to cover those, and you are allowing them to burn themselves out, cause them emotional stress, and continue to expect them to put these trucks on the road to make sure they're service for the county. You guys know multiple times over the past several months, you've had 1 truck on the road, 1 for the whole county. Hey, it's a shortage, it's here, okay? It's already here. People in McCormick County that carry the title of paramedic, by the way, you have 1 that works here. 1 full-time paramedic that works on your trucks that can provide advanced pharmacology, advanced airway, and advanced treatment of cardiac disease in this county. 38% of your population is over to 65. Your job is to make sure those services are in place. Your salary study was done. Your salary study, you guys voted on and approved, that's great. But your paramedics are making $6.36 or 8 cents an hour. $16.38 an hour. I may be off by a couple of cents, but it's 16 bucks. 30 minutes down the road, they can go make $22 an hour. So your salary study compared us to counties our size, population, income, that kind of stuff. Your salary study did not compare us to what's around us. You know, in the housing market, they compare your house price to what's around you. My last question is, you spent $4 million on the MEM Center. Give your people a pay raise so they'll come back. Thank you. Do better.
Robert Morris.
Well, I may have a tough time following Mr. Doolittle, but I'm here to speak about McCormick County Emergency Services also. I've been working there for over 15 years. I know the service the way it was, and I know the way the service is now. We're on a precipice of failing, and we're failing the citizenry of McCormick County by doing so. 1 year ago, Mr. Doolittle retired as Director of Emergency Services. Like him or not, and some people didn't, okay, he knew his job, he knew the county, he knew the people in the county, and he knew how to run an emergency services system. That being said, was he perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Is anybody in this room perfect? No. We all have our failings, but the man knew what to do. Jason Brown has been working at McCormick Emergency Services since 1999, and he was co-director, which basically second in command to Mr. Doolittle, for about 10 or 11 years, something like that. He knows the county as well. He knows emergency services. He knows the people here. He knows what this county needs. And he was put in as interim director when Mr. Doolittle left. 6 months interim with the proviso we thought that he would move on as director. He was basically told that he wasn't allowed to make any changes. So how do you make things better if you can't make anything change? Okay? So we expected, emergency service personnel would expect that he would be given a chance to do the job that he already was almost doing and assisting in doing for the last 10 years. But that was not to be. It was determined by a couple of individuals in this administration, and this is not conjecture because it was told to me verbally, face to face, that they did not want Jason Brown because he was under Chris Doolittle and therefore tainted. So this comes under kind of almost the Bible thing of the sins of the fathers will be laid upon the children. And that's totally and completely unfair. So what happened? We went outside and we picked up somebody with no experience whatsoever in running an EMS service. Yes, he has a background in EMS, he was a paramedic, but no background in running an emergency services system. His credentials weren't checked, which, if you honestly think that the importance of emergency service is only worth 3 minutes, then there's something wrong with this county council.
Jacob Knut.
I appreciate that. This is something that's important to all of the citizens of McCormick County. So we hired a director that was entirely over his head. He had no idea how to run an EMS service, and he did exactly what he knew how to do, which was a lousy job. From the get-go, it was obvious he didn't know what he was doing. There was no leadership there, and consequently, the people under him had no leadership. We've got people in there that are supposed to be working 24 on, 48 off. Now they're working 48 on, 24 off, strictly to keep ambulances on the road so that we can protect and serve all the citizens of McCormick County. They cannot handle that. It's burnout, okay? And if something isn't done, the system is going to completely fail, all right? Jason Brown has the experience. Now we're right back to where we were a year ago. 6 months interim directorship again, with no guarantee that he's going to go on. Basically, again, hands tied behind his back, can't make any changes. How are we going to make the service better? We can't make any changes. So we're right back where we were before. Einstein said the definition of sanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I paraphrase, of course, but that's where we are now. We're trying to do the same thing again, and I don't think the service is going to be able to handle it. We don't need insanity. We need leadership, continuity, and we need people to be able to expect what they're going to be serving under. Thank you.
South Carolina Registry, ACLS instructor, taught for Carolina Medical Center, Midlands Tech, and York Tech. ACLS, PLS, all your advanced classes. Back in my day, when I got out in 2003, 96 hours straight, baby. We do it to provide our little county. There's things y'all can do that I'd help you with. We hired an instructor. We set up EMT classes. And the thing about it, paramedic classes, I think it's enhanced now, or advanced. Our day was intermediates. Send them to school, make them sign a contract for 3 years. They can't work within a 50-mile radius as the crow flies. And as they work, they get paid, they get an education, and we have coverage. We sent 9 paramedics to school in our county for 6 months. Back then, we took the crash course, 6 months course. Uh-oh. And we still had 9.
There's no one else. Yes, sir. There's no one else.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Decision items. Item number 1, this is order 23-12, in order to authorize its execution and deliver a multi-county industrial business park agreement with Abbeville County, providing related matter. Council to consider the third reading. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second. The motion is second. Any discussion?
Mr.
Council
Chairman. I don't have a big problem with this, but there seems to be an exhibit that is missing, which is the master agreement governing the Abbeville McCormick Industrial Business Park. Since this is the third and final reading of this, I'm simply interested in where the exhibit is and why we have not had a chance to do a final review of it.
Mr. Warner, you can. Get that, okay. All right, you can get it for us. Anyone else?
It might be best to table both of those ordinances because I discussed that with Mr. Warner as I was sitting here. I was looking at it. These documents were prepared by our retained counsel, and it was hoped that they would be attached to the documents for third reading, because this is third reading, and it does make reference throughout the agreements or throughout the ordinances to the master agreement, and it's not attached, and the property description is not attached, and the special source is not attached. So I think on both of these ordinances, Mr. Chairman, both of those should be tabled because it really, as Mr. Cook said, there's nothing to review. You don't have the agreement to review. Yep. And it makes reference to that. And that has to also be approved by Abbeville County. And that's one of the issues that we're dealing with. Of course, Abbeville has to do it on their schedule, approve the expansion of the park. And this is a good project, so we do want to get that done. It may require a special meeting.
That's why I was gonna ask. Delaying it, would it have any negative?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I had the same notes on the next ordinance, 23-13, that there were 2 missing exhibits. So I concur in Mr. Callison's recommendation. Can we do this with one motion to table both, or
Have a
just
motion
do
on
them?
each one of the ordinances.
Okay.
To bring each one up. This ordinance is now has been brought up, and that's ordinance 2312, I think that is. And so make a motion to table it.
Okay, I make a motion to amend the motion that is on the table to table ordinance 23-12 until the master agreement is available for review.
Second.
Motion, second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the table? Nobody, I think. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, you can just call for a motion on the next ordinance 2313 to table that on the
That's
same
right.
ground.
For a motion at this time to table 23-13.
Mr. Chairman, do we need a motion? I made a motion to amend the motion that was on the table. We passed that. Now do we need to
We need to vote.
Yeah, we got it.
pass the amended motion?
No,
We need to
no.
vote
Now
on it
you
first.
can, but it's effectively it's been tabled, but you can, technically, you can go back and now bring up the motion as amended.
I just want to make sure that
So
we've
the
done this
record is
properly.
clear that that's been done.
Okay.
So but we're still on ordinance 23-12. And you would call for a motion to approve the amendment to table this ordinance until the agreement is provided and any attachments were provided.
And get a motion to approve the amendment.
It's already on the table. All we have to do is vote.
Now, this is a motion to table, to table the,
A motion to approve the amended motion to table.
right, well, and that's what it is. Just go ahead and let's just table the ordinance.
Let's just take a vote.
It's okay, all in favor of tabling it. Everybody right ain't. Now I need a motion to a table 23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor, nobody right ain't.
That was clean.
Okay. Item number 3, this is order 24-01. This is first reading, title owner, this is McCormick County tax. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Get a second.
Second.
The motion and second, for title owner. All in favor, nobody right in. Thank you. Item number 4, this is ordinance 24-02. This is your water and sewer budget title only. First reading, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. Been motion and second. All in favor?
Mr. Chair, if I may, and then Mr. Cook. We do it every year, and every year we have different people come to be a part of the meeting. I think it's important when you see items on our agenda that says title only, that's basically all that we're voting on is just the title. This is the budget, next year's 24-25's budget. And hopefully, we're having budget workshops now. We just met with the directors of the different departments to get their requests. And then we will, by next month or the month after, start putting numbers to these ordinances. So I just want everyone to, while we're just passing these through, it's just title only. So hope that helps someone understand a little bit.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you. Councilman Cook.
I would just note for the record, for those people who are concerned, the Commission of Public Works in the town of McCormick has indicated that they will not be raising water or sewer rates for this year. So hopefully, we've got no higher rates to pass along to the community in this budget.
All right. Thank you.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, because we got one more water supply.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And that Calhoun Fall. Okay. Anyone else? Not all in favor? Nobody right? Thank you. Item number 5, ordinance 24-03. This is title owner. And get a motion
So moved.
for Savannah Lake.
Second.
With motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Nobody writing. Thank you. Item number 6, ordinance 24-04. This is school district budget. Administrator, Mr. Stephen, will be calling the superintendent of the school. Hope to set up a meeting that before third reading, that county council in the school and the trustee board and the superintendents we all would meet. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Cook.
just very quickly to outline the dates. I attended the McCormick County School District Board meeting on Monday, yesterday. And if we're going to do this before our third reading, they will have their second reading. Of course, they only have to do it twice, where we have to do it 3 times. That second reading is scheduled for June 10th. So if we want to do it before the third reading, we need to schedule that meeting sometime between June 10th and our third reading of the ordinance on June 18th. So just to give some guidance with respect to when we can do that. Now, we could do it before their second and final reading, but that would be sometime before May 13th. So just keep that in mind, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's it. All in favor? Nobody writing. Thank you. Item number 7. Council consider authorizing administrator to sign the HVAC distribution LLC Rural Infrastructure Fund Grant number C-23-3838 from McCormick. It's a grant that we've seen, I think, a little over $300,000. Yeah, you can speak to it. Thank you, sir.
It's a grant application that was done on behalf of HVAC Distribution, which we all know is Project Cool. This is the Coordinating Council for Economic Development. They authorized $340,000 to the grant, to the project. This is a pass-through, which means the company will have to submit invoices and proof of payment that demonstrates to us, the county, that the work has been done, has been paid for, improvements to the building. We will submit the grant request to the Coordinating Council. Coordinating Council will issue the funds to the county, and then we pass that amount on to the company. So it's a pure pass-through.
So this is the building, Mount Vernon.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Former Regal.
Former Mount Vernon,
Yep.
which is known as Regal.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 1559 South Main Street. Know it well.
Well, that's good news. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved, Mr.
Second.
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Councilman Cook.
I strongly support this. I think it's essential that we proceed with this. The only question that I have is in the the March 14th letter from the executive director of the Coordinating Council, who I think in I think it's item 2, that paragraph that says, please also note that unless the company has requested a conditional notice to proceed, work for which the grant is approved should not commence prior to the Coordinating Council's receipt of the signed agreements by all parties and the Coordinating Council's issuance of a notice to proceed. And so I'm wondering whether or not that has been completed and whether...
The company requested a conditional notice to proceed. It was issued.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyone else? All in favor? Nobody, right? Thank you. Item number 8, council to consider appointing Anna Cunningham to the Green Board Representative Private Sector effective October 1st, 2024.
So moved.
The motion is second. Any discussion? Not? All in favor? Nobody, right hand. Okay, committee reports. Councilwoman Brown.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and council members, audience. We attended the Easter concert that was held at the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, the community Easter egg hunt that was at West Town, of course, the ribbon cutting at the North EMS station, budget workshops, and an update on the Civic Center, along with budget workshops.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also attended a lot of meetings this month. It was a very busy month. We did the ribbon cutting at the Main Street Coffee Company. I heartily recommend, if you haven't tried that, their breakfasts are particularly good. I attended the County Transportation Committee meeting. There was a presentation that Lynn Mattice, who is someone who is undertaking to prepare a number of economic development proposals for McCormick County. He gave presentations both to McCormick County Republican officials and McCormick County Democratic Party officials, if my understanding is correct. And he has some very good ideas that I think we can follow up on. Attended the Baycott Pageant Barbecue. They did very well, and their business in the county seems to be expanding. Attended the McCormick County Election Board meeting, the Capital Project Sales Tax meeting, the ribbon cutting at the EMS substation, the monthly meeting of the Planning Commission, the budget workshop, the town council meeting, the meeting that was sponsored by Piedmont Technical College to look at programs in the county, the CPW meeting, and I did attend the funeral for another significant individual who has passed away in the county, the Reverend R.C. Holloway. And I thought it was a very touching and a very appropriate ceremony for someone who's been in the county and supported county education programs for such a long period of time. We had a special called county council meeting in which we approved some changing work orders to help speed along the completion of the MIMS Civic Center renovations. I attended the SLV PAC meeting and the McCormick County School District meeting. It was a busy month.
Thank you. Councilman Banks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The events that I attended this month, of course, the ribbon cutting. We almost forgot that, but I don't see how. But I attended the workshop meeting on April 8th. Attended the WSMM Recreation Center meeting yesterday with the architects that was here. Also attended school board meeting April 15th, which was last night. Our Chief Financial Officer, Denisha Morgan, reported on the status of the budget at this point. that it is at 29%, which is a good target. Many students were recognized, including the academic All-America students. The broadcasting team received a gold for its performance at a conference and will be moving on to higher competition. It was also told to us that the South Carolina House is revamping a teacher pay scale to increase to 30 years of experience, up from 23 years. A budget workshop will be held April 26th at the district office starting at 8:30. Some of the capital projects that have been completed include repair and repave the driveways, exterior cameras at front entrance, update of sound system at the stadium, and a 4K playground fence repairs have been made, and wellness trails for Cross County and Junior ROTC. And asked me to tell you that you are invited to attend the band concert at the high school on May 7th and the Schoolhouse Rock on May 16th at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Chair.
Mine is very, very short because I was on vacation most of the month, but you and I did attend the Tri-County Board meeting for the second reading of our budget, and we will be meeting with them next Tuesday for the final reading of Tri-County's waste budget. That's all I have.
Thank you. I want to thank all the county councilmen and Councilman Brown as well. We do a good job attending all the events that goes in this county, and that's showing that you do care about this county, and that's what it takes. All of us continue to work together. We had a good workshop with the different departments heads coming before us, and we will be coming up with a date later to have our meeting with Stephen concerning the budget. The river cutting up in the northern part of the county, another MA. So that's some of your capital 1% money, and that is a awesome building up there. So now we got 3 locations, one here in town and one in the southern part of the county. Then now we're in the north, kind of west of the county, and that's good. That we were able to go up to Miam Community Center up there, the Africa Gospel program they put on up there, and had a great time. They had someone on there to give us some history concerning gospel music, and that was good. Also, we had the opportunity to go down to a church anniversary down in the low part of the county, and it was to celebrate the 155th church anniversary, and that was great. If you look at your calendar, next week we would like to have a meeting either April the 23rd or April the 24th. That'll be a walkthrough at the old house school, which is now known as WSMM Civic Center, 23rd or 24th at 10:30. Then we'll have a meeting afterward.
23rd?
23rd or 24th.
24th is better for me.
Okay. How about the 24th?
Back on 24th.
That works for me.
24th.
We're going to be out of town.
Whatever works for you guys, 23rd, 24th.
23rd ain't good.
Okay,
24th, either one of them days ain't good for you.
No.
It's out of town.
Okay. We'd like to have you walking through there. See you on the model. Okay, we look at the, when you'll be back in town?
The next day, 25th.
25th,
That's all right with me.
25th,
What time?
10:30.
Spinks, will you be back? No, you probably need to do it Friday, the 26th. if you're coming
26,
back
okay.
on
I thought you said.
I thought
She's coming back on the 24th, and they won't have time. 25th, yeah, so
Oh, okay.
do it on the 26th.
We thought you said, yeah, okay, 26. Look at it, 26.
That works
It's a
for me.
Friday.
Can we do it 11?
Okay, 11, okay.
All right, let's do it 11.
11, Walter. Okay. Yes. Old high school.
The chair, we're gonna meet there and then come here, or,
Tell me afterward. So we said 12.
I'm confused, 11,
11, we were at the walkthrough,
walk through, and then the meeting here.
meeting at 12.
Now, is that the old high school or the
Old high school.
The old administration building?
No, old high school.
Old high school, okay.
Yeah, Mims Center.
You said 10 o'clock? 11 o'clock.
Okay, one more. We need to now have our budget workshop. We look at the 29th of the studies of that next week.
Mr. Chair, Finance Director would not be here on the 30th nor the 1st. So anytime the second on, we can do it and going into the following week.
So now we need to look at.
Mr. Stevens, does that mean the 29th is out?
Yeah, that's out.
Well,
Now we're going to May.
that's on the mind. It would be better to do it the second on. Because of some things that we need to pull together. And that also gives you all time to review the information been sent to you. If you got any concerns, we'll be discussing it at that time.
May the 2nd, is May the 2nd, is okay with everyone?
On 10 a.m., 11?
I'm trying to see if May the 2nd.
Good.
Good.
Fine with me.
Council Brown? Yeah. 10 a.m.?
Do we have a location yet?
Should be here.
It'll be here?
Is the second gonna be good for the finance director?
Yeah. According, Dave, you okay with that? The second.
The 6th would be better, wouldn't it, that Monday?
What?
That's what I
Okay.
thought.
Oh, okay.
You prefer the 6th? Yeah. Okay.
Can we do the 6th? At 10?
That's fine.
Okay,
That's on Monday.
on Monday.
It's a Monday.
10 o'clock?
Yes.
That's fine.
I made it in here, I just had 10 to be here. I don't know for what, but.
What, on the 6th, you already had it on your calendar?
Yeah.
I think we had talked about that day.
Oh, maybe that's when I put that sit down. And forgot, okay. Mr. Stevens?
The sheriff and I had an opportunity to go to Edgefield County to meet with the administrator and the sheriff to discuss possibility of trying to enter into a joint venture for animal control. So we will be discussing that at a later date. Also, Crystal and myself for the past few months have met extensively with all of the shift supervisors for emergency services. We've also met with Jason in the last few weeks to discuss a 30, 60, 90-day plan in terms of how he feels that we can identify some of the concerns. He's had, my understanding, he had input from some of his employees. We have few former employees from this county have expressed an interest to return to McCormick County. So Jason is aware of certain conditions, so we got a recruiting effort going forward. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we will start filling the paramedic slots that are vacant. That completes my report, sir.
Thank you. Time- Motion to go into the executive session, that is to receive legal advice from our economic development, also McCormick County EMS, county administrator, and county employees.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Not, all in favor? By the right hand. Again, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. And also, we see a good many of our EMS employees here tonight. We just thank you for your service. Everybody working people these days, it's not easy. Since that pandemic, it's hard to find help. If anybody could create some help now, they could become a millionaire overnight. That's right, so it ain't no different McCormick County thing. It's a United States, and I listen to the news, it's an entire world thing.